31 and 32.
Om Namo.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tatajayam Udiret Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Yatha Nabasi Megha Ogha Renuva Parthiva Anile Evam Drashtari Drushyatvam Aropitam Abuddhibhihi Atha Param Yat Avektam Avyuda Guna Brihitam Adrushta Ashrutavastutta Astutvatasa Jivo Yatha Nabasi Megha Ogha
Etha Nabasi Mega Ogau.
Renuva Parthiva.
May I read, Mataji, once?
Yes.
Yatha Nabasi Megha Mega Oga Renuvaha Parthiva Anile Evam Drushtari Drushyatvam Aropitam Abuddhibhihi Atah Param Yat Avyaktam Avyudha Guna Bruhitam Adrushtashrutavastutvat Sahajiva Yat Punabhava.
Translation and purport by the Srila Prabhupada, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Clouds and dust are carried by air, but less intelligent persons say that the sky is cloudy and the air is dirty. Similarly, they also implant material bodily conception on the spirit self. Beyond this gross conception of form is another subtle conception of form which is without formal shape and is unseen, unheard, and unmanifest. The living being has his form beyond this subtlety, otherwise he could not have repeated birth. Purport by the Srila Prabhupada, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. It is further confirmed herein that with our material eyes and senses, we cannot see the Lord. We is all spirit. We cannot even detect the spiritual spark which exists within the material body of the living being. We look to the outward covering of the body or subtle mind of the living being, but we cannot see the spiritual spark within the body. So we have to accept the living being's presence by the presence of his gross body. Similarly, those who want to see the Lord with their present material eyes or with the material senses are advised to meditate on the gigantic external feature called the Virat Rup. For instance, when a particular gentleman goes in his car, which can be seen very easily, we identify the car with the man within the car. When the president goes out in his particular car, we say there is the president. For the time being, we identify the car with the president. Similarly, less intelligent men who want to see God immediately without necessary qualification are shown first the gigantic material cosmos as the form of the Lord. Although the Lord is within and without, the clouds in the sky and the blue of the sky are better appreciated in this connection. Although the bluish tint of the sky and the sky itself are different, we conceive of the color of the sky as blue. But that is a general conception for layman only. As the gross cosmic manifestation is conceived as the gigantic body of the Lord, so also there is the conception of his subtle form, which is simply realized without being seen, heard, or manifested. But in fact, all these gross or subtle conception of the body are in relation with the living beings. The living being has his spiritual form. Beyond this gross material or subtle psychic existence, the gross body and psychic function cease to act as soon as the living being leaves the visible gross body. In fact, we say that the living being has gone away because he is unseen and unheard. Even when the gross body is not acting, when the living being is in sound sleep, we know that he is within the body by his breathing, So the living beings passing away from the body does not mean that there is no existence of the living soul. It is there. Otherwise, how can he repeat his birth again and again? The conclusion is that the Lord is eternally existent in his transcendental form, which is neither gross nor subtle, like that of the living being. His body is never to be compared to the gross and subtle bodies of the living being. All such conceptions of God's body are imaginary. The living being has his eternal spiritual form, which is conditioned only by his material contamination. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Ena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Ena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guroho Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavancha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatanvitam tam sajivam Sahadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakanvitancha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात देशतारिणे वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे Hare Krishna. We're continuing third chapter. Krishna is the sources of all incarnation. Shloka number 31 and 32. Here they're describing about the soul, the comparing cloud dust and here they're giving another example of the president who is sitting on the car. Like they're giving so many examples here. Describing about the existence of the Jiva and Lord. Prabhuji will tell you in detail. Hare Krishna, Dandat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Mataji. So, we have been seeing quite different aspects of these particular shlokas now. So, Prabhupada says that form and the formless. So, two important aspects. When we speak of formless, we basically speak that God or the living being, that is all of us, we have no material form. Just like we have this form, but this form is temporary. This body is temporary. It will never come again. As soon as this form is finished, we'll have to take another form. That form may not be exactly like this. So this is how it is, formless and form. And this formula is there for everyone. But for Krishna, he does not have material form. He has got only spiritual form. His form is eternal. Like for us, we don't have any memory of our past life, of our past karmas, because the form has changed. But Krishna remembers everything because his form does not change. And the evidence is there in Bhagavad-gītā, wherein when questioned by Arjuna, how can I believe that you spoke this philosophy to the sun god 400 million years ago? Krishna says, yes, you are also present there because you are my constant companion, but you have forgotten and I remember. Ideally, we do not forget things as long as the form continues. But the moment there is a change, we forget. For example, every night we experience this. Our actual form is where we are lying on the bed, and we are dreaming in a different form. In that form, maybe we are flying in the sky, forgetting that real form is lying on the bed. So, form and formless. Similarly, the impersonalist behave. Now, they are very much fond of the universal form because they find it favorable. But we need to understand what is this universal form. It is actually external expansion of Kṛṣṇa. Shastra says that every living entity, as we saw yesterday, is 1/10,000th part of the tip of the hair. Keshagra satabhagasya satada kalpitasya cha jiva bhagasa vidneya sa cha anantya kalpate. It's coming in Svetashvat Upanishad 5.9. And every living body is dying. And when it happens, the spirit soul is taken and is put in front of the court of judgment of Yamraj. And according to the work, we are given next body. So by superior arrangement. And again, this is stated in Bhagavad-gītā, it will come. Karmana deva netrena. All our activities, what we are doing, is being recorded. This record, after we are taken to Yamraja, the day of judgment, is analyzed and the decision is made. What kind of a body we will get. Karmana deva netrena jantu deha upatyate. Jantu means living entities. For giving him a body, it is decided by higher authorities, not by the living entity himself. That, okay, this year, this body I had got to be a man in India. Next birth, I want to be someone in the family of Ambanis. No. It depends on our karmas. We may get into a rich family. That again depends on our karmas. Janma Aishwarya Shruta Sri Bihi. Janma means birth, Aishwarya riches, Shruta education, and Sri means beauty. So these things are obtained according to past activities. And that is why not everyone is educated. The spiritual spark is there, and then the body develops around it. Similarly, this gigantic body of universal form is the development of Krishna's external body. So, the bodily functions are going on because the spiritual spark is within. Similarly, the material activities, what we see, the Virat Roop that we talk about, it is going nicely because the Supreme Lord is there. In Bhagavad-gītā, it is mentioned, Vistabhyayam idam jagat eka unshena sthito jagat. So, Arjuna asks, Krishna, kindly explain how your energies are acting. So, this was asked in 10th chapter, and Krishna answers it into the 12th chapter, wherein he says, just like your energy is working on this body, similarly, my energy is working in this universal body. He summarized how his energies are working. Athva bahuja anitya kimadnyatena tava Arjuna. See, such a nice explanation which Krishna gives. Now I shall go on explaining how my energies are working. But you can summarize that in one of my plenary portion, enter into his material world, and therefore it is going on so nicely. The difference between Krishna and us is that he is great and I'm small. Although qualitatively we are one. The same thing which we saw the other day, big fire, small fire. Same qualities, approximately, but small quantity. A particle of gold is gold, but it cannot be compared to the gold mine. So the gigantic form of Krishna is a product of Krishna's energy. But Mayavadis don't understand. And that is why it is mentioned here. Maya gunhe virachitam. By Krishna's energy, it is created. Mahadbhihi Atmani. The material energy from Krishna's body, as much as spiritual energy. There are different energies of Krishna only. In Vishnu Puran also, there is a mention regarding this. Ekadasha sthitasya agner jyotasna vistarini yatha parasya brahmana shakti sarva idam akhilam jagat. Akhilam jagat, the vast universal form which we are seeing, it is nothing but parasya brahmana shakti. It is a manifestation of the energy of the Supreme Person. How? The example is given. Ekadasha sitasya agne, just like fire. Now, sun, it is the biggest fire within this universe, right? It is situated in one place. The sun is not distributed. The sunshine is distributed. Sunshine is covering the whole universe. That is not important. The sun globe is important, which is localized. Similarly, just like sun is distributing heat and light, remaining itself in one place, Krishna is playing with the gopis in Goloka Vrindavan, and his shine is creating the whole universe, pervading the whole universe. Not that Krishna is playing there, he's enjoying, therefore he's absent here. No. Goloka eva nivasati akhilatma bhuta. Brahma Samhita, we have this reference. Krishna is in Goloka Vrindavan, but he is present everywhere. Krishna's position is that although he is always in Vrindavan, he is present everywhere. How? Because Andantarastha Paramanucha Antarastham is within every universe. Why universe? Within every atom. With our material eyes, we cannot see the Lord. Because he is spiritual. We cannot even detect the spiritual spark which exists within this material body. So those who want to see the Lord with material eyes or with the material senses, they are advised to meditate on the gigantic external feature called the Virat Truth. Like Mataji was talking about, when the president is going out in a particular car, we see, oh, here is the president. We are not seeing the president. We are seeing the car, but then the car gets identified with the president. Similarly, for less intelligent persons who want to see God without qualification, they are shown the gigantic material cosmos as the form of Lord. Though Lord is within and without. And that is why in this shloka it was mentioned, clouds and dust are carried by air, but less intelligent persons say that sky is cloudy and the air is dirty. Now, is actually the sky cloudy? No, sky is sky. It's the cloud which have covered the sky, and so we feel that it is cloudy. Is the air dirty? No, it is purest of the air. It's the dirt which is being carried by the air, but we are saying air is dirty. So the gross cosmic manifestation is conceived just like there is a conception of the subtle form, which is realized without being seen, heard, or manifested. Now, if the gross body is not acting, when the person is in sleep, we know he is within the body because he is Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, still the existence is there because now he is going to be repeating his birth again. So Lord is existing in transcendental form, which is not gross or subtle. Body never can be compared to the gross or subtle bodies of living beings. Such conceptions are actually the failures of our imagination. He cannot be contaminated by material nature. We are all parts of Krishna, but we are not equal to Krishna. We have to understand this truth. And when we understand this truth and act accordingly, it is only then that we understand that, yes, beyond the gross conception of form, there is a subtle conception, which may not have formal shape, because it does not have a formal shape, it is obviously unseen, unheard, and unmanifest. Atah param yat avyaktam, which is not yet vyakta, avyudha guna brahmitam, adrishta ashruta vastutvat, sa jivayat punah bhava. Punah bhava takes birth repeatedly. It is we who have to take birth repeatedly, not Krishna. So when we are studying these two shlokas, we need to understand the relationships which has been coming up in this particular chapter. So it all started with the description of the various incarnations of Krishna. So we saw how Krishna is expanding. So when we say incarnations, it is expansions of Krishna. So Krishna is still always there in his Goloka Vrindavan. It's not that he is leaving that place and coming here. No, he is there. Only when he is coming as an avatari in the form of Krishna, that time he is here. That time he is coming here with all his associates, with all the gopis and everyone, so that he can do the leelas here. We saw the objective of the incarnations of Krishna are basically only to please the devotees and to protect the devotees. Killing of the demons is a secondary activity which Krishna does. Because for killing demons, he does not need to come. It can be done by him by using his different, what I'll say, soldiers. Like just tell Indra, he is not good, and Indra will shower so much of rain that over. Everything is over. So why Krishna comes in different places is to give us protection, to safeguard us. And what best to know this than to understand how he came as Narsya Bhagwan. That time when Prahlad Maharaj was in the biggest of difficulties. But there also he did not simply come to protect Prahlad. He came because he wanted to give his appearance to Prahlad Maharaj. And that is why though his father was being killed, Prahlad Maharaj was not worried. He did not commit a sinful activity that his father is being killed and is not saving him. No. For him, his devotional service, his understanding that the father is being liberated was much more important. And that is what he prays. So after understanding this, we also understand that besides these documented avtaras in these particular few shlokas, there are innumerous avatar which are actually happening. Because there are so many universes. So they are continuously coming, continuously. After understanding this, now we are understanding how the expansion is happening, how we even, the living entities, are parts and parcels of Krishna. So it started off with the Prajapatis, the Manus, the children, and how the whole thing was built up. And then there we have the Falashruti, that if we discuss this Krishna Katha every day about Lord's appearances in morning and evening, we'll be freed from miseries of life. And after giving this Falashruti, now our difficulties, our mistakes that we commit, they are being resolved. That we should not consider Virat form as everything. It is just a manifestation of energy. And to clarify that Virat form, we are having these two shlokas, 31 and 32, wherein we get the examples of cloud and dust being carried by air, but still we calling the sky as cloudy or the air as dirty. But practically it is not this thing. So similarly, Virat form is not Krishna. It is just the expansion of Krishna. His form cannot be gross or subtle, what we talk about, because he is always spiritual. Gross and subtlety are for those who are in touch with the material energies in Bhava Samsara. So this is what the whole four shlokas were, which we have covered till now, and thereafter we are going to be seeing in future how by experiences, by self-realization, we'll see that neither the gross, neither subtle bodies have got anything to do with us because we are spirit souls. And then we'll be able to see Lord and how illusory energy can be subsided. So those are the discussions which will continue further from tomorrow onwards. Hare Krishna. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो